Our final speaker before the panel is Julia Becker. She's a total rock star. She is the head of investor relations and marketing for Enthusiast Gaming. As I said, I read an article on her company and called her up, and she answered me within a couple of hours, which to me means she's a rock star and she's brilliant. She was part of the Go Public team. She's been in the industry a long time, and I will throw it to her to take us home.
Thank you, Alex, and it's great to be here. As she mentioned, I'm the head of investor relations and marketing for Enthusiast Gaming. I'm incredibly excited to be here. Don't start my time yet, because I have a question. How many of you are gamers? Oops, other way. And how many of you know, when I say esports, other than what Wims did a presentation on, knows what esports is? Okay, so that's my target audience right here. That's my focus group. Enthusiast Gaming, and one of the reasons I'm so excited to be here is because we were actually just verified as the largest gaming network in the US by our friends at ComScore. That means we beat out Twitch, IGN, and GameSpot. Our mission has always been to build the largest network of gaming and esports communities in the world, and today, we actually reach over 200 million gamers on a monthly basis. Gaming is big, but how big? I mean, we know that the Robert Krafts of the world, Louis Vuittons of the world, Richard Shermans, our boy Drake, they're all entering esports and gaming. Gaming is bigger than box office. In 2018, the gaming industry generated $138 billion. That's a 50% increase in the same number in 2015. If you compare that to the box office, only $41 billion was generated. And only 5% increase from the same number, or what they generated in 2015. It continues to surpass and grow over any industry year over year. That means gaming is mainstream. If you look at the world, 7.7 billion people in the world today. Over 2.5 billion people are gamers. That's a significant opportunity for brands and marketers like yourself looking to target that gamer demographic. In 2019, gaming will generate $150 billion. By 2022, it's said that gaming will generate over $200 billion. Now let's just take a step back. If we look at esports, it's one vertical within the gaming industry. Esports will generate this year $1.1 billion. Over 450 million people around the world will watch a competitive gaming or esports game. That poses a significant opportunity. The Enthusiast Gamer. We are bringing together the most passionate and authentic gamers. I'll just run through these really quickly, but 72% of our audience is between 13 and 34. We know that 65% of that audience spends over 15 hours a week gaming. 67% are going to buy more than 7 games in a year. 63, and I think this is the most interesting stat, 63% are influenced by online ads to make game purchase decisions. This demographic is highly lucrative and one of the most sought after demographics right now. And why? If I'm a gamer, I can play my favorite video games. I can now watch my favorite video game athlete or esports player playing video games on streaming services like Twitch. I can read content around the video game. And now with esports, I can attend esports in live events, or in-person live events, and other events like EGLX that I'll get to. Our collective network reaches more touch points to the gaming industry than any other company. We have a network of 100+ gaming websites, including one of the world's largest female gaming demographic called the Sims Resource, which reaches 2.5 billion page views a year. We have 900 YouTube channels, 7 professional esports teams, and like Wim said, which includes the Overwatch team, the Vancouver Titans, and the Call of Duty. We have 50 influencers and social influencers and content creators. This to me is wild because the social reach of this demographic right here, the 50, reaches over 60 million passionate followers, which is a huge opportunity to reach this demographic. And then of course we've got 30 live events globally. So the collective reach again is 200 million gamers. But through platforms like this, there are more verticals for advertisers targeting this demographic. Our media platform, for example, generates 30 billion ad requests and 1 billion page views a month, reaches 150 million monthly visitors. The Luminosity, our esports division, has a social reach and following, again, of loyal fans of 60 million. And then, of course, our events business or events businesses worldwide, you have in-person, tangible experiences to reach those gamers. So, in our opinion, we're just getting started. Esports is going to be the future. Gaming is going to be the future. And it's platforms like this that show advertisers and marketers that there's a huge opportunity here to target this gamer demographic with impactful messaging. The last thing that I will leave you with is we are actually hosting Canada's largest esports and gaming expo this weekend. It's called EGLX, Enthusiast Gaming Live Expo. I'd like to invite all of you to the expo, 18th to 20th at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre. It's a great way to come and actually see what this is all about. Wim said it's very important to go to these live events. The dedication and the loyalty of this demographic is something that cannot be overturned, and something that we absolutely, as marketers, can capitalize on. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to everyone. And of course, if there's any questions, find me after.
So tell us, how can they come to that event? Do they just show up? Do they have a code?
This email, if you send me an email, I will send you a code. And
jbecker@enthusiastgaming.com. Go. I think that would be really, really interesting. So, any questions? Questions for Enthusiast Gaming? Sure.
Hi, Jessica Medeiros,
Hi.
Blast Marketing. I just wanted to know, how does it feel to be one of the top leading women in a male-dominated industry?
Well, thank you. You know what? No, I'm in investor relations. It's been predominantly male-driven for my entire career. Gaming, again, I think there's a significant opportunity for females in this industry, and I, for one, am trying to build kind of a community of females and supporting females and trying to mentor as many females and just basically like boss babe the shit out of this industry and other industries, because I think it's really important for females to have a voice and also like be at the table. But there's also, I say that, but there's also some wonderful men that support a lot of really valuable females in this industry. And so I think in terms of an entire ecosystem, we're just getting started, and regardless if you're female or male, I think as an esports and gaming industry, we all need to support each other's success, whether we're competitors or not. Yes, we just beat out Twitch, but if Twitch is successful, I'm gonna be successful, and Enthusiast is gonna be successful. And so it's really just trying to work together, and I appreciate the question.
That's a great question. Anyone else? Question? Anyone? Okay, I'm going to ask one. What about, Call of Duty this week, last week? Do you have a question? Oh, right here. Yes, okay, go ahead.
Hi, yes.
Hi.
I had a question about one of the data points you presented.
Sure.
About the 15 hours per week usage for one of the demographics.
Yeah.
How do you see that playing out in terms of consumer behavior? Is activity X in their life going down to, so that this has that place?
Sorry, just so I understand, activity X meaning just
watching TV or some other hobby, etc.
Good question. And I mean, because we're largely an online platform, the data that we're able to curate from our network of authentic gamers, I'd like to say it's not going to change, but it 100% is. You're already seeing the decline of television. A lot of millennials you talk to today don't have cable TV or don't watch cable TV because everything is YouTube streaming. All of these various streaming platforms like Netflix or Roku. So I think there's going to be a monumental shift. But like the other panelists said, I think we're going to see an inflection point where these online streaming sites or TV streaming sites, whatever you want to call it, they're going to have to start to monetize. And so you're going to start to see advertising within streaming. And so then where are we at? We're just back to TV again, but in a different cycle. So it really becomes that question. My president and founder, Manash Kestenbaum, started Enthusiast Gaming off of one blog, Nintendo Enthusiast. He built this community of authentic gamers because he was part of that community and found that community. And he said, part of it was like he wasn't socially accepted at school. Like he didn't feel like he had belonging. And so he found friends all over the world through this community. And I think people are just starting to understand that. And as parents, you're just starting to understand that. And I mean, you've got collegiate programs that are now, parents are going like, you need to go to college. Wait a second, go to college, get your esports contract or your scholarship, and then make $120,000 a year plus, just like a normal job. So it's really changing the entire
For sure. The
ecosystem.
geeks are rising. I'm going to ask you one last question. So 100 million, the geeks are rising. It's so true. And the best example of that happened last week with Call of Duty at 100 million in how many 48 hours? So okay, so your question about everything is changing. Gaming is now, what did you say? 1 in 3 people globally is a gamer. 1 in 3 people are gamers. Somebody said, you said that. 1 in 3 people are gamers. So how high is high? What's the next pivot? What are we waiting for? What are you excited about next?
That's a good
Scale is
question.
here already, right? Yeah.
I mean, I can't comment too much on like what I can, but I shouldn't, but I'm going to. You know what, I think honestly there's a massive disconnect right now, and this is very relevant for you guys, at the viewership versus the revenue generated. And we haven't even started to see non-endemic brands and sponsors start to enter this space. If I'm a dev, I don't want to be associated with a first-person shooter. But now there's opportunities like the Sims resource where Dev can target millions of gamers who are now females that are based on their brand or what they're looking to do. So I think from a marketing standpoint, there's a significant turn. It's again like we're in inning, we're in like warm up of like inning 1. I think the growth trajectory is going to be significant.
It is phenomenal. That 48 hours of 100 million was phenomenal. Okay, so now, thank you very much. That
You're
was
welcome.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.